Whereas Peter Bell, firstly, Bell, it's been an eventful start to the trade period.
It has been. We're able to advise that we've reached agreement with Carlton to trade Blake Acres for a future third-round pick. We weren't able to go to the same contract term as Carlton were able to offer Blake, and we reached that agreement for a future third round. At this early stage, we believe that there's a lot of depth in next year's draft, so we're eager to get in there as much as we possibly could.
And it sounds like we're close to a deal with Logan Tucker in North Melbourne.
Yeah, it's edging closer. Obviously, in these negotiations, we had to be cognizant of the fact that North Melbourne have the first selection in the pre-season draft. So there's always that looming over the negotiations, but pleased to report that the negotiations are going really well. We feel at this stage that will involve North Melbourne's priority picks for next year, 2023, where they have a future second round pick, future third round pick. So we're edging closer towards a deal, and potentially we might even be able to tie the Griffin deal in with Darcy Tucker as well. You'll remember that we agreed with Darcy that if he could facilitate a trade to a club who was able to provide more opportunity for him, provided we were adequately compensated, we'd look at that. So that's a strong possibility also.
It's looking like we'll build a fairly strong draft hand for next year. Is there a strategy behind that?
Yeah, as I mentioned before, it's just that we think that 2023 looks to have a bit of depth about it. It is very early, but we do look forward to those types of opportunities. So where we can, we'd like to be heavily involved in 2023.
Today, Josh Corbett requested a trade to Fremantle. What can you say about that potential trade?
Yeah, we had the pleasure of having Josh and his partner Michaela over for the weekend and showed them around Perth and the club. It's great to hear that he's indicated his preference would be to come to Fremantle, given that he did have a couple of other potential suitors. So we'll work with the Suns now to see what can be facilitated there. We see him as a lead-up forward who's put together some really consistent football in the VFL this year and AFL previously. He's got a high work rate. We think he's a great character who'll add to the group. So we'll get to work through David Walls and his team to see what can be facilitated with Gold Coast.
There's some interest in Lloyd Meek. Can you see a trade happening with him?
Interesting to hear Hawthorn had expressed an interest in Lloyd as a contracted player and a player who we think has improved massively this year and each and every year that he's been at the footy club, and really important for our future plans. We're really eager to retain Lloyd, and as I mentioned before, he is contracted and a valued member of our team.
And Luke Jackson's obviously made that trade request to WA. Is there any updates on that?
I know that David Walls is talking regularly with Tim Lamb at Melbourne, along with Luke's management. Nothing to report at this stage, but I think those conversations are positive and they'll continue over the next few days.